I died. Not in a dream. Not in some story spun out of imagination. I truly died on the cold concrete floor of an ordinary morning. The strange thing is, I'm still here to tell you about it. Not to scare you. Not to preach to you. But to share a secret with you, the greatest secret humanity has tried so hard to forget. That day, I was a paramedic trained to fight death. We faced death every single day, the bloody accidents, the silent heart attacks, the fading eyes as life slipped away from broken bodies. We thought we knew death, or at least we believed we did. But when 6,000 volts of electricity tore through my body, when my heart gave one final shudder and then surrendered, I realized the death we thought we understood was only the outer shell. Have you ever wondered what happens after the heart stops beating? Is it just darkness, cold, empty, fading into nothingness? Or is there something far greater waiting for us on the other side? I used to wonder the same thing, until I walked through that door myself. Death is not darkness. Death is not cold. Death is radiant, magnificent, infinite. I left my body like a kite whose string had snapped, weightless, unbound. No more pain, no more fear, no more me as I had known myself. I melted into a sea of light, a living, breathing ocean of consciousness. I wasn't seeing with my eyes. I wasn't listening with my ears. I was sensing everything all at once, waves of light pulsing around me. Every soul's dream, every longing woven into a vast, indescribable tapestry. And I realized I was not the name printed on my ID badge. I was not my failures, my successes, or my losses. I was a part of the One. I was infinite consciousness, drifting through a boundless ocean. You might think I'm delusional. You might believe I'm making it all up. But if you've ever stood at the boundary between life and death, if you've ever touched the raw, naked truth, then you know, the life we are living is just the tip of the iceberg. Beneath it, within it, lies a magnificent universe far beyond the reach of the ordinary mind. And the most beautiful part? You are carrying that universe within you. You have always been a part of infinite consciousness. You simply forgot, just as I once forgot. But my journey didn't end there. Beyond death, I was shown something even greater, a secret map of the soul, where all of us began. Are you ready to discover it? Long before my heart stopped beating, I had already died in a quieter, more silent way. No one noticed. No one mourned. Because I was still walking, still smiling, still nodding at strangers in my white uniform. Back then, my life, it was like an old, worn-out clock still ticking, but every gear was rusted, every beat dull and lifeless. 12-hour shifts. Emergency calls in the freezing rain. Faces twisted in pain, lifeless bodies, and then back into the relentless grind. Day after day, year after year. On the outside, I was the silent hero as the newspapers once called me. On the inside, I was a withering soul, surviving but forgetting I was ever born to truly live. There were nights when I would sit alone on my balcony, staring down at the endless stream of traffic, and wonder, is this all life has to offer? Running for what? Saving lives, only to let my soul slowly die in silence? I used to dream of days off, of faraway trips, of simple, fragile hopes like sitting still for just a moment without hearing my name called over the radio. But those dreams grew fainter, like a painting washed away in a misty rain. Each day, I put on another mask, the professional smile, the polite nod, the false, resilient gaze. Beneath it all, my heart had rotted from loneliness, exhaustion, and from a silent fear I didn't dare name. The fear that maybe life had no meaning at all. I lived like a candle burning itself out in still air. No explosion, no brilliant flare, just a slow, quiet fading bit by bit. Until that morning. In the morning, I thought I would simply answer another emergency call, never knowing that this time, the patient would be me. And destiny, with one cold jolt of electricity, would rip me out of the body that had been surviving like a ghost, to show me the raw, unfiltered truth of who and what I truly am. But sometimes, to truly find life, we must first brush against death. The accident that day didn't just stop my heart. It broke the worn-out patterns of my mind and opened a journey far beyond anything I had ever known. Are you ready to witness that moment with me? That morning began like any other. Too familiar. Too safe, almost as if it could never be broken. I rushed into my early shift, still half asleep, still clutching a half-empty cup of coffee I hadn't finished. The ambulances, the sirens, the hurried footsteps on cold concrete. It all played out like background music. No one listened to it anymore. Until the moment the surge of electricity struck me down. It hit like a punch from the universe itself. No warning. No signs. No mercy. A sharp crack tore through the air, and my entire body locked into a violent spasm. Every nerve ignited into an invisible wildfire. 6,000 volts ripping through my heart, through my lungs, through every tiny cell of my being. It felt like I was being torn into 100 pieces. Every muscle fiber, every strand of hair, every dream ripped up from its roots. I saw the ground rushing up to meet me. I heard my coworkers screaming, their voices stretching away, distorted like a broken song. And then, silence. A deep, absolute silence swallowed the entire universe whole. I opened my eyes, but my physical eyes remained shut. I heard my heart beat, but my heart had already stopped. And I realized I was no longer inside my body. I was floating above, looking down at the familiar form sprawled across the cold, hard floor. Something cracked inside me, a crack that made no sound, yet echoed to the depths of my soul. I saw them running toward me. I saw the jolts of the AED slamming into my chest, to no avail. I saw the fear flooding my coworkers' eyes. I saw, but without emotion. I saw, as if watching a strange movie about a stranger. I had truly left the material world behind. And then, a gentle, yet irresistible pull drew me toward a light in the distance. The light didn't hurt my eyes. It didn't blind me. It was warm. It was inviting. It carried a promise one I had long forgotten: come home. I drifted without needing to walk. I flew without needing wings. Around me, the sky melted into a vast ocean of singing light. Each melody was a memory. Each heartbeat, a whispered message. No more time. No more space. Only pure consciousness calling to me. A small part of me panicked, trying to cling to familiar fragments: my work, my family, the dreams I hadn't yet fulfilled. But they fell away from me like withered petals in the wind. I was no longer me. No longer a name, an age, a title. I was simply a pure current, a single drop returning to the ocean. And in that moment, as I merged into the light, I knew we have never truly died. We simply change forms. Our true nature is consciousness, is light, is infinite. But my journey had only just begun. Ahead of me, a strange doorway was opening, leading straight into the very heart of the universe. There, I witnessed something that no words could ever fully describe. Are you ready to step through it with me? I drifted onward. Not with feet, not with wings. I moved with my very thought, or rather, with something beyond all thought. Around me, the light was no longer just ordinary light. It had texture. It was alive. It breathed like a vast living being. Every particle of light vibrated like a musical note, weaving together into a cosmic symphony, one with no musician, only pure existence singing itself into being. I no longer knew where I ended, where the outside began, where the inside ended. I became the wave. I became the heartbeat. I became the breath of everything. And then, from within that ocean of light, a gateway appeared. Not an iron gate, not a physical door, but a swirling vortex of energy, a passageway between layers of existence. A voice echoed from the deepest depths. Do you wish to remember? I didn't answer. I was the answer. Instantly, I was pulled into the gateway. And I saw rivers of light flowing through unseen lands. I saw cities made of frequency, where souls gathered not with words, but with pure emotion. I saw millions, billions of souls like tiny stars floating, glowing, whispering their untold stories into the universe. Each soul was a song. Each song was a lesson. Each lesson was a thread in the vast tapestry of existence. No one was lost. No one was forgotten. No one was truly gone. And I understood, we are not isolated beings, thrown into life by chance. We are tiny rivers, temporarily divided, but destined to find our way back to the ocean of infinite consciousness. In that place, I didn't just remember who I was. I felt every memory, every emotion, every wish I had ever carried, even the ones I had never dared to admit. And more than anything, I realized I was a part of the source. I had never been separated from it. The fear of death, an illusion. The pain of loss, a classroom. The separations, the failures, the suffering, only brief rains along the journey back to the ocean. And once again, from the depths, the voice rose not as sound, but as a touch upon my very soul. You are light, wearing the form of a human. But light never dies. I wept, not from sadness, not from regret, but because for the first time across countless lifetimes, I felt the truth. I had never been separated. I had always been one with everything. I remembered that every pain I had endured was only temporary. I remembered that every longing for love was the source whispering me home. I remembered that the true purpose of every journey was never to become someone else, but to remember that I had always been everything. But just when I thought I had been dissolved forever into the universe, an unexpected choice appeared. A final test, pushing me to the true limits of my soul. And everything would change forever. Will you dare to take the next step with me? I had thought that merging into the infinite light was the ending. A beautiful ending. A worthy ending for a long, lonely journey. But it wasn't. In that moment, as I floated weightlessly within the ocean of consciousness, a thin crack appeared as every cell of my soul overflowed with unconditional love. A question echoed across the sky of energy. Do you wish to stay or return? I hesitated. Return? Return to that world of pain, loneliness, and forgetting? Why? For what reason? Here I was free. Here I was light. Here I needed to prove nothing. No more struggling. No more suffering. I felt myself standing at an invisible crossroads, one path inviting me to stay, to dissolve forever into the ocean of peace. The other path pulls me back toward pain, shattered dreams, and the pieces of lost souls still crying out in the sleep of the material world. I hesitated. Who would choose pain over peace? Who would choose limitation over infinity? Who would choose a mortal body over pure light? And then an image flashed through my mind. Not the accomplishments, not the awards, not the money or the status, but the eyes of a child longing for a loving embrace. The eyes of a mother are waiting for her child to come home. The eyes of a friend quietly battling pain no one else could see. And I realized the true purpose of light is not to keep it for yourself. Light is meant to shine. Light is intended to guide. Light is meant to become a bridge for souls still wandering in the dark. In that very moment, I understood a truth more brilliant than any light I had ever seen. Love does not hold back. Love always sends itself forth. Love is action. I took a breath not with my lungs, but with my entire being of energy. And I whispered into the vast ocean of the universe, I choose to return. Not out of fear of losing, but because I have found. And in an instant, a powerful force, like the swirling vortex of the universe itself, pulled me back along the narrow path, returning me to a small, limited, aching body. Back to the game I had once willingly entered and momentarily forgotten. But returning was only the beginning. My soul carried the memories of the infinite, and now, I would have to learn how to live with them in a world still fast asleep. Are you ready to walk this awakening journey with me? I opened my eyes. The harsh hospital lights blazed into my eyes, blinding cold. The sharp scent of antiseptic filled every breath. My body ached as if it had been crushed. Every tiny movement felt like silent fractures splintering beneath my skin. And yet, I smiled. Not because I wasn't in pain, not because I was stronger than before, but because I had returned carrying the memory of the light. Everything around me seemed the same, for white walls, the cold, dangling four lines, the monotone beep of the heart monitor. But I was different. I was no longer the old self, the one who merely existed. I was no longer the one endlessly running from fear. I was a new flame burning from within. In the days that followed, as my body slowly healed, I relearned the smallest things, learning to walk again on trembling legs, learning to breathe deeply through aching lungs, learning to see the world with new eyes. I felt the sunlight touch my skin, not just light, but the universe whispering hello. I saw each passing face not just strangers, but souls on their journey home. I heard each beat of my heart no longer a dull rhythm, but a miraculous symphony of life itself. I didn't need to accomplish anything grand. I didn't need to strain myself trying to change the world. I only needed to become light in every glance, every word, every ordinary moment. A smile for a stranger in a crowded street. A heartfelt hug for someone I love. A quiet forgiveness for old wounds. That is how light spreads. That is how the source flows through every breath we take. Life was no longer just a string of days endured. It became a symphony with each heartbeat a note sent rippling across the ocean of consciousness. I lived with a burning gratitude, grateful for every pain, reminding me that I could still feel. Grateful for every stumble, teaching me humility. Grateful for every smile, every tear, because each was a manifestation of endless life. But this journey of awakening is not meant for me alone. That infinite flame is already burning quietly within your heart, right now. And with just one moment of remembering, your life too can be changed forever. Are you ready to hear this final message? Do you remember the question I asked at the very beginning? If death is not the end, but an awakening, how would you choose to live? Now I know the answer, and I want to whisper it into your heart like a soft breeze brushing across the fields of memory. Death is not a loss. Death is not an ending. Death is an invitation home. Home to the source of love. Home to the memory that we have never been abandoned in a cold, empty universe. We are light always, forever. This life, every tiny moment of it, is not random. Every beat of your heart is a symphony, woven together with millions of other souls. Every small act of love lights a new star in the infinite sky. You don't have to die to remember who you are. You only need to pause, take a deep breath, and let the call of the light rise from within. Ask yourself, today, who did I love? Today, have I forgiven myself? Today, have I lived as a beam of light, or am I still hiding in the shadow of fear? You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to understand all the mysteries of the universe. You only need to begin right here, right now. A smile, a loving glance, a hand extended, a word of forgiveness. These small things, this is how we awaken the light within ourselves and within this world. If this story has touched you, if somewhere deep inside you've also heard the call to come home, please leave me a comment. Even if it's just a single word, light, or a small feeling from your heart. Every share from you is a flame lighting the way for someone else. And if you want to continue this journey with me, the journey of remembering who we truly are, please click follow. Because light never walks alone. Light always finds light.